When you become a manager, there's usually a moment when you realize the role is starting to ask something new from you. You're still handling tasks that support projects, but suddenly people want more than updates. They want perspective and direction. And you start noticing that you're not just managing the work anymore. Your responsibilities are expanding. As that happens, the role begins to involve guiding people, shaping conversations, and connecting daily work to broader direction. This is where leadership skills become especially valuable because they help you operate effectively when the work reaches beyond task management. Leadership develops gradually. It grows through experience, reflection, and the way you respond to everyday situations. The foundation often forms long before anyone talks about titles. It starts with the small things, like how you communicate, solve problems, and connect ideas. Those abilities can strengthen over time. The first thing to understand is the difference between managing and leading. Managing is about supporting what needs to happen right now. You're coordinating people and projects. You're clearing small roadblocks. You're keeping the work steady and making sure nothing gets lost in the shuffle. Good managers bring order. They bring structure that helps the day run smoothly, and that work is deeply valuable. Leadership builds on that. Leadership expands your field of vision. Instead of only looking at today's tasks, you're thinking about how those tasks connect to what's coming next. Instead of only focusing on what your team needs, you're now thinking about how your team fits into the larger system. And instead of relying on your title to move things forward, you start relying on your judgment, relationships, and ability to inspire confidence. Take this example. A new tool rolls out and the team is getting used to it. A manager focuses on support, setting up training, answering questions, and making sure everyone has what they need to keep work moving. A leader does that and also looks ahead. They consider why the tool was chosen, what it signals about the direction of the organization, and what skills the team will need as the work evolves. The skills that help you move into that leadership space come down to three big things: influence, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking. Influence becomes increasingly important as managers take on broader responsibilities. When you're managing, people follow your direction because it's part of how the role works. You assign tasks, approve work, and keep everything moving. Leadership influence works differently. It doesn't come from authority, it comes from trust. People respond to leaders who consistently show good judgment, communicate with purpose, and consider more than one perspective. Over time, that steadiness builds confidence in how you think and how you make decisions. One practical way to strengthen influence is to connect your ideas to what matters to the person you're speaking with. For example, if you're sharing a proposal with the finance team, you might highlight how it improves efficiency or reduces rework. If you're talking with your manager, you might emphasize how it supports long-term goals or improves the customer experience. The idea stays the same. You're just framing it through their priorities. Seeing a situation through multiple lenses is a key part of influence, and it helps people understand how your ideas support shared outcomes. Influence also grows through reliability. Following through on commitments, communicating clearly, and offering support when it's needed all contribute to a strong reputation. Those small, steady actions create the kind of trust that makes leadership influence possible. Emotional intelligence plays a meaningful role in how people communicate and work together. It's not about being upbeat or keeping the atmosphere pleasant. It's about awareness, understanding your own reactions, noticing what others may be experiencing, and recognizing how those emotions shape a conversation. In practice, this can look like paying attention when someone brings up a concern or raises a question. Instead of immediately offering solutions, emotional intelligence helps you pay attention to the tone and the context. Someone might be managing competing priorities, looking for clarity, or simply needing space to talk something through. That awareness helps you respond in a way that supports the conversation and keeps it moving in a constructive direction. The same awareness applies internally. When you understand what you're bringing into a discussion, whether it's enthusiasm, pressure, uncertainty, or focus, you can choose how you want to communicate. A brief pause before responding or a single clarifying question can shift the entire tone of an interaction and create the space for a more thoughtful, steady exchange. Strategic thinking is the third skill, and it's often more approachable than people expect. It isn't about having complete information or trying to predict what will happen. It's the practice of noticing patterns, understanding how different pieces connect, and considering what those patterns might mean for the work ahead. It often shows up in everyday moments. You might notice customers bringing up a similar question over and over, or you could see a project slowing down at the same stage each time. Sometimes it's something broader, like a trend you hear mentioned across different meetings or teams. Each of those moments offer clues about what's important and where attention may be needed next. Strategic thinking involves paying attention to those signals and exploring their implications, what they reveal, what they suggest, and how they might shape future needs or opportunities. It's a way of stepping back to understand how today's details fit into a broader context. Once those patterns become clear, the next step is sharing what you're seeing in a way that's straightforward and practical. It might sound something like, we're spending a significant amount of time on manual tasks. If we streamline this part of the process, the team can focus more on the work that requires deeper thinking. Communicating insights this way helps people understand the connection between what's happening now and what could work better moving forward. Leadership doesn't replace managing. The day-to-day work still matters. You're still supporting your team, organizing projects, and keeping things moving. Leadership adds to that foundation. Some days require attention to details. Other days call for a broader view. Being able to move between those two perspectives is part of what makes leadership effective. Building these skills doesn't require a major overhaul. Small, steady habits make the difference. Try connecting with someone outside your team to learn about their current focus. Take a moment after a meeting to reflect on what worked well, or set aside a little time each week to notice patterns or trends that keep showing up. These small practices strengthen awareness and build confidence over time. Leadership grows through those everyday moments. Each conversation, each decision, and each thoughtful choice helps shape how you show up. Over time, people begin to look to you not just for support, but for perspective, because they trust the way that you understand the work and the environment around it.